Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Thanks for tuning in, and my name is Gigo. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the Prampram project once again. And it's been almost 4 months since we did a major work on this project. The whole time I was putting myself together, to continue with the next phase, which is the hidden roof gutter. So as I always say, you don't have to save the money, just go bit by bit. The little you have, you buy your building materials down, and then when you're ready, you just go in for it. So I'm back again, and the coming weeks is going to be a series of hidden roof gutter because a lot of people complain of leakages during their building. When they do the hidden roof gutter, there's a lot of leakages through which comes through their house or their rooms. So I'll take my time to show you what we are doing different, which will help you during your building process. But before we begin with today's episode, let's take some time to visit the farm, the little farm that my mom is trying to put up. Last year she did tomatoes and also some little vegetables which really went well. It also helped the people in the community a lot. They came around to pluck some of them. And this year she's really going hard on it. We have pawpaw, we have yam, we have some cassavas also there. So I'll keep you guys updated how it is growing, but it's really much. She really planted a lot. So I was thinking, if you are building your project, you have workers around, you can also use the part of the land that is not being used as a farm, and the workers can eat from this farm. So if you have pawpaw, because it's going to take you like 2 to 3 years, or 4, 5 years, 6, 7 years, or even 10 years to finish your house. So if you are not building on a full plot, you are using just half of the plot for the whole structure, you can use just quarter plot, for this farm, which will serve as food for the workers. So when they come around, they can go in there, pluck some pawpaw, they can eat the fruit, they can get some tomatoes, pepper, yam, cassava, they can just roast corn. You can also have a corn there. So these are where we have the cassavas. So as you can see, the cassava stamps are there in the soil. And trust me, this is the rainy season, so you don't have to water them. You don't have to even take care of them. They will just grow on their own. So this is a little bit tips, I'm sharing with you guys. You can always make good use of your land. If you have your land in Ghana and you're not building on it, just give it to people to use it for farm. Let them do all the hard work and just get a little bit percentage of it, which you can use to buy your water, for your production of your house. So this is a little bit tips for you guys. Back to today's video, which is an insightful content, of building a house in Ghana, which is going to be an exciting journey of building your house in Ghana with a unique feature, which is the concrete hidden roof gutter. Building in Africa comes with its own set of challenges, including the heavy rains during a certain season, which is like the rainy season. And during this season, you have heavy rains. Sometimes you can have really storm where you have some of the leaves from the trees and some branches flying, and plastic. Also in Africa we have a lot of plastic. When it during this time, you have a lot of dirt in the air. So sometimes they get stuck in our gutters, especially those that have hidden roof gutters. Some of this dirt get trapped in some of the pipes, which is supposed to drain all the waters down. So you sometimes have them choked, and when the water goes in there, they are not able to flow fast. They stay in there and then later cause leakages. So this is one tip. This is something people really don't pay attention to it, and this is something we are supposed to pay attention. So if you are going for a hidden roof gutter, you should know your drainage. You should have a good system. When it comes to the drainage, how you're going to clean them. When it get choked, you don't have to break all the concrete again to get access to fix the pipes. So this is one tip. Another tip is that we also have to know that water cannot pass through cement. Water cannot pass through concrete. It doesn't matter which chemical you use in your concrete, water cannot pass through concrete. So if you have leakage, meaning there's something wrong with your mixture, there's something wrong with your cement, ratio, your concrete ratio. And this is what people don't know. What people does is that they use the same ratio they use for concrete casting of the decking, or yeah, they use that same ratio for the hidden roof gutter when they are casting the concrete side for the hidden roof gutter. The hidden roof gutter is supposed to hold water, so the ratio there is different. It is a gutter, there's flow of water in there, so that ratio is supposed to be different, you know. And also, people don't tile the gutter. You're supposed to tile the gutter so that it have this flow of water, this kind of smooth flow of water to the draining site. So these are things that people really don't pay attention. And you will you will construct a nice gutter, but then if your ratio is not right, if the slope of the water, the slope of the water is also important. So let's say if you have a steep roof, and when it rains, the flow of the water has a lot of speed, it's just dashing out. The chance that the water will focus on the drainage will be less. So you have less water going through the pipes, and then you have the rest of the water splashing around the gutter. So the moment you have a little bit leakage or you have a little bit gap, in the ceiling, the water dashes out and then start jumping into the roofing inside of the house. So this is one of the things that we don't pay attention. The slope of the house. That's why when you are laying your blocks on top of the, how do I say, the beams, which is the lentil beams, you have to get a slope, a certain slope, so everything has to be gentle. Everything is calculated. That's why I'm saying when you're building, you need engineer, someone that will come and look at one or two things. So it all starts with your block work. If your block work is high and your roof is going to be steep, it doesn't matter whatever you do with your gutter. This is water, and water has its own principles, so you have to work with principles. You have to work with the nature of water. So you need the flow. That's why with my hidden roof, I have two hidden roof gutters. They are all at the back, and they all have their own channel. So one flows from the last floor. It has its own drainage, which you see up there, and then the next one also has its own drainage. So there is no much pressure going there. Everything has to, and the slope, like I always say, the slope is more important. There has to be a gentle and a smooth slope, so that when it rains hard, there's no splash of water all over the place. Also, you're tiling so that there's a smooth movement of the water, and then you don't have water, staying on top of the concrete. And also, you once in a while you have to go and clean the gutters. You have to go and clean them, because where we find ourselves in the world, there's so much dust, there's so much, trees and leaves around. So there might be some leaves choked in the gutters, and so you have to put all of those things in place. And these are personal observation that I have done, when it comes to hidden roof gutters. So this is how the house looks, from the angles. Wow, we started small, like I said, just like the house you see beside it. That's how we started, and here we are. We keep dreaming, we keep seeing new things wherever we are. We keep learning, and this is how far we've come. I'm grateful for this progress. Just that I'm curious how it will look when the whole structure is done, because I don't have this on paper actually. So we're just going with the flow and just trying to take advantage of the sea view, and that's how we came up with this structure, how it looks now. So we are almost getting there, very soon all the woods will be out. We go for plastering, and then we see the outcome. So today's video was more about showing you around and what we've done. In my next episode, we will go up there. We'll join the IFO and the contractor up there to see what they are actually doing and the measurements they are taking, the pipes they are laying. And we also have the place where we're going to put the water tank. It's also up there. I'll show you guys all of those things. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly please do so you don't miss out on our next episode. And I'll use this opportunity to thank all of those that were with me from the beginning when I started with this project. It's been amazing with you guys. Anytime I go back to watch the first video I posted of this project and looking at where we are now, guys, it's possible. You can do it with a little money you have. If you have 1,000, US dollars, you can start with something, just something small. Have a plan. Forget about the price. The price will always go high, so if you think you are buying it expensive today, trust me, tomorrow it's super expensive and it will look cheaper tomorrow. So your €1,000, your $1,000, which is expensive today, tomorrow is nothing. So start something, do something, and you see the result. So thanks for staying with me till this far. I really do appreciate your time spent on the channel, and I'll see you in my next episode. Look at do it. And when you get bored, kill me. And when you get bored.